Welcome to another Zen pop-up. What we're going to look at today is top 10 common issues people have with their Zenler site. So these are kind of questions that we have sort of time and time again. So we're just going to tackle a few of those sort of top 10 questions. So I'm going to be showing a slide and we're going to just look at the first one. I'm going to go into the site and show you how to resolve those issues or where to look for information on sorting certain things out. So here we go, we are on to the slides now. So this is a Zen pop-up for today, so we're going to move to the first slide. So top 10 common issues people have. At Zenler, we see the same questions in our Facebook group time and time again. Here are the top 10. So starting with number 1, why is the community showing or the my courses that should not show? So you guys are looking at it and you're looking at it as admin, so you're seeing everything really because you are admin. So you need to be looking at this as a student, right? So this is really important that you actually do this and look at it as a student. So to do that, it's pretty easy. We're going to go into my screen share now and to look at the site as a student and actually log in and everything else as a student. We're not going to look at it in here. Look at this. I can see all this stuff, members, help, all this stuff. Some of it's hidden only for logged in users, but I'm an admin and I'm logged in so I can see it all. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go to a new incognito window. I'm going to type this in here. And now I'm as if I'm a new person. So I'm not seeing that community come up or any of that stuff. And I can even, if I've got another email account, you should always have a second email account so you can test that as a student. You could sign in and join up and see what they're seeing when they log in as well. So this is a really simple one, but this is one that we do have questions on quite regularly. So that we always say test, test, test as a student. This is so important. All right, so going back to the slide now. We're going to show the next slide in the series. So let's go. Okay, so number 2, why is the email going into people's junk or spam folder? So usually it's because you're not following the best practices. So we always say do email domain authentication inside your integrations tab inside the site. We always say follow best practices, don't use oversized images or too many images. From a text ratio point of view, there should be 70% text to about 30% images max in any mail, and make sure that those images in the mail are optimized at the right size. Also, when you're sending it out, don't try to find people with a different email address. So if I'm sending it out from 𝗭𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗂𝗏.com, I wouldn't use something at somethingelse.com. I would use something at 𝗭𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.com. So it all lines up and then it's more chance of going into people's inbox. It's never 100% this sort of thing. It isn't with any system, no matter what you're told. So just follow those best practices. So to find videos on email authentication and best practices, you can go to our YouTube channel and let me just screen share this. So I'm jumping around a lot today. So if I just type in our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/Zenler, it's got a handy little search function. So if you put email domain in there and I just click that, straight away I'm going to get email domain authentication, tells you all about it. Also email deliverability, getting mail to your inbox. So these are good to watch and learn. So if you want to learn more about that, go and do a little bit of research. How long did that take me? Less than 5 seconds to put the email domain in there and just to be able to view those videos. So there's quite a lot. This email deliverability, getting in your inbox, goes through lots of things. It's 34 minutes long, but it is a basic level. You can follow that. Email domain authentication takes you through the process of authenticating your custom email as well. Okay, so this is another big one for you to use for sure. So let me jump back to the slide again. So let's move on to number 3, I think it is. So why do my automations not arrive in my inbox? Right, okay, so this could be because of what we just looked at, the email domain authentication, all of those sort of issues, but it also could be because they are not live. So that is a big issue. If you're not making your automations live, then they're not going to go anywhere. All right, so if I go into my Good Doggy site here, I'm just going to share my screen again, and we're going to jump. So with any of the automations, they're set. So if I just jump into a course that I've got here, and we go to this course, doesn't matter. So this is the same method for marketing funnel automations, any live automations, or indeed course automations. So if I go into the automations within here and this is paused, it will not go out. So if you set all your emails up and it is paused and it's not live, it will not go out. So you need to make sure that action is live in there so that it shows live inside there, and then you can test it and make sure. And remember, you should be testing this. You shouldn't just launch and then say none of my emails work and it's all live. Help, help. That's what we get a lot of. It's live, got it live now, and it doesn't work. Need to test it. Okay, so I'm going to repeat testing again because it's just so important, and it's something that you need to do every single time with anything that you're doing with Zenler. So let me just jump back to the slides again and move on to the next one. So that's that one. So we're going to move on to the next one now. So why is my pricing not showing up? Now this is, there's a few reasons this could happen. Because it's secret, okay? Because it's unpublished, so the course is unpublished, the pricing is hidden, or the start date is not reached. Okay, now the start date one is kind of a weird one. You can set a start date when, if you want to, when and an expiry date when a price should come up. So people do this. It's like, if in 10 days time I want to start selling my course, I can set it for 10 days time, and in 10 days time that price, and people can enroll. This is a good way of getting people in at that same time, but it can also cause a problem if you're looking at it and you want people to buy it straight away. It's been done accidentally quite a few times. So understand that the start date is when that price becomes visible. Before that date, the price will not become visible. So I'm going to share my screen again and show you what I mean. Let's go to a screen share. There we go, full screen share. So in the pricing blocks down here, you want to make sure that, let me just go, this is one I set up earlier, but let me just take this subscription. So inside that subscription there, or I think it's one-time payment, so let me just go in here. Set availability. So if I set this availability to, and the date today is, oh, I'm terrible with dates, 10th of June. If I was to set this date for the 11th of June, it wouldn't be visible. So it wouldn't be visible until tomorrow at whatever time I set it in here, and whatever time zone I set it as well. So if you then want that pricing to disappear, you can say enrollment close date, and you can put a date in there, and then after that date, that pricing plan will disappear. So it literally pop up, and then when it hits that expiry date, it will disappear. So this could be a reason why, and we have had this problem before. I've had people have that in there and say their pricing doesn't show up, and it's because they've done a start date and it's ahead of time. So that is something to be aware of. Also, inside the course details tab, if your price is hidden, again, it will not show, and it might not show, the whole course won't show if you make the course secret as well, so it might not show on your page. So again, that could cause problems with that. And of course, finally, if you unpublish the course, then no one's going to see anything. Okay, so these are big issues that can happen with this sort of stuff. So let me jump back to the slide again. Right, so that is why is my pricing not showing up. So next one we're moving through now is, why does my course not show up? This is basically off the back of the other one. So because it's secret or it's unpublished, which I just kind of showed you. If you've got it as secret in course details, or you have it unpublished, then your course is not going to show up anywhere, and people are not going to be able to buy it if it's unpublished. If you send them a link and it's secret but published, they can still buy it. all right, but it just won't show up in any of the dynamic blocks that you have set up. So that's why does my course not show up. Let's move on. And the next one we have here is, let me just go to slides there. It's a bit bigger now, isn't it? Why do 2 lots of welcome emails go out? Now, this is a common problem. So people set up the automations for their courses, but they forget to turn off the system emails. So by default, you haven't got to put any automations into your courses. The system emails can handle that. So when someone signs up for a course, they get a welcome message from the system email saying, welcome to this course, blah, 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 blah. But if you have set up automations in a course, so a mail goes out to them saying, welcome to this course, blah, 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 they're going to get 2 if you haven't turned off system emails. So turning system emails off will stop any of the mails going out that would normally go out if the course automations were not on. So it's really easy to work with this. I'm going to flick to it now and show you. I'm jumping around because I've got 2 lots of slides going. So here we go. So inside here, under your site, you're going to have site settings, and you're going to have the, where is it? Notification status. So by default, you might have enable welcome emails turned on. If you're using automations in your courses, you should turn this off. So you might have it like this. You need to click that, turn it off. If I mouse over the little question mark, system generated welcome emails for course site signups will not be automatically sent if disabled. So if disabled, we assume you will be using automations to handle this. So I've turned it off because inside all of my courses, inside here, I'm using, you've guessed it, automations. I've got automations in here. So I'm actually writing my own welcome emails and sending out my own emails from each of the courses that I set up. So this is the big difference. So if you are using automations in your courses, then make sure that you turn off system emails. You know, test it as a student and you'll see exactly what I mean. Okay, so this is a big one that people fall into quite a lot. So let's jump back to the slides again. Okay. So why has my page not updated? This is a really common one, and I've put because you have not cleared the cache. So really common problem. Again, this comes down to testing and checking in something like incognito, because if I go, let's go to a page. So I'm going to share my screen in a second. Two seconds, I'm just trying to get the website to come up. Okay, right. Let's share my screen. Okay, so I've got this page here, and you can see it's a lovely page. And I'm going to go into the site for that home page. Let me just check which one is my home base. Dog training, logged in. Okay, so logged in page. All right, let's just throw one of these pages up. Let's just throw one of these pages up. Okay, let's go to this one. Logged in. Let's preview that page. I'm just testing something in incognito, making sure that page comes up. Okay, good. It does. Right. Okay, so inside this page, if I go in and I edit that page, so this page, I'm editing this page. Now my system might automatically clear the cache. It's just the way I've got it set up. But I'll just show you what I kind of mean. So we'll change the color of this. We're going to make this color, I'm not going to do anything too dramatic, but I'm going to make it a bit of a deeper color like that. Okay, so quite a big difference. I'm now going to click save. Right, so generally what people do is then they flick to their live site and they're like, oh, it hasn't changed, the color hasn't changed. But that's because they haven't refreshed the browser. So you can sometimes click in there and it will refresh, but I tend to hold the control key, and then I hold the control key and I press on a PC and I press this little refresh. And what you'll see now is it's appeared in the right color. The other way of doing it is to grab the URL and just quickly check it in incognito mode. And that will also give you the correction as well. So clearing the cache, you can actually go in and clear the cache by going to your settings and history and clearing all that out, or settings down there. You can manually clear the cache, and I do say that you should maybe do that. I'd probably do it every sort of 3 or 4 weeks. Okay, just clear it off, and then it reloads the pages in. It caches the pages so that if there's images, lots of images on a page, it kind of downloads them. So when you next flick the page up, it can just reference them lightning quick, and it doesn't have to use the internet to send information back and forwards. So that's what caching does. It saves a kind of image of the page and then shows it. So in order to get it to show the new content, you need to refresh the cache. You need to say, all right, get out. I want a new lot. I want to do a new scrape of it. You'll also find the same thing happens with things like Facebook. If you put a post up on Facebook, it will show an image and stuff that you've put in the SEO. But then if you change it on the site and you look, the post will stay the same, because Facebook itself has its own cache, and Facebook needs clearing to put the new image in there. So just bear that in mind. These are quite important things to sort of understand moving forward. So clear the cache to see the changes. All right, so let's flick to the next one now. And to me slides. Why is Zenler slow? Okay, so we know the page builder is a little bit slow, yeah, but sometimes people are like waiting a long time. So we always say check your internet speed. If your speed is slow or not working, or you're not working efficiently, or the page is packed with images and media. So this is a big one. If you have a page and it's packed full of videos, maybe you've got 30 videos in there embedded from YouTube, you've put 20-30 images in the page as a gallery, you've got big background images in there. This can slow the page down, so it'll take a long time to load. That will happen with any system, you know, with WordPress. Even if you hand do HTML and you go to it, the page is going to be slow at loading the editor. So these are things that you need to be aware of. You need to make sure your images are effectively optimized. You need to make sure that your internet speed is fast enough. And you can always put a post in Facebook, is it slow for you today? But generally, these are a lot of the reasons why this can be slow with these things. So just to show you, I've got a little bit of a help video on these as well. So we have, let me just flick my channel up. I did some videos lately for Zen pop-ups. So yeah, I want to show you this because this is going to be really helpful for you. So on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/Zenler, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and whenever we bring out a new one, it will be straight in your inbox. So I did a video here, it's called Time-Saving Techniques. This will dramatically speed up your processing or your editing of pages, whether it be for new courses, whether it be for lives. This method that you see in this video will really speed your time up. when you're creating pages inside Zenler. Make sure you look at it. Also, another one that's quite a good one to look at is understanding image sizes as well. So this tells you about optimizing images for emails and these kind of things. Have a look at that, because they're definitely two that you want to see. And by the way, you can also watch a video there testing as a student as well, which ties in nicely with one of the points we mentioned earlier. So they are two big ones to look at. So let me flick the next slide up, and we're back. So why does my Zoom session stop suddenly? This is a common one. So this is because the duration of the live is not set up properly. So people don't set enough time for themselves for that duration. It's easy to miss. Okay, it is easy to miss. I'm not blaming you. I've done it myself. But it is my fault. It's nothing to do with Zenler. It's my fault that I've put the wrong timing in there. So you got to make sure that inside your lives, I'm going to screen share again, and we're going to jump to a live, that when you're setting up any of your lives, whether it be a live class, live webinar, live interactive webinar, live stream, that you set it up properly. So let's just choose live stream. Actually, no, I won't. I'll use live webinar. And let's create a live webinar. So when I come in here, and I'm just going to call this Zen Pop-Up, okay, and I set the time and all this thing. So I'll set it for tomorrow, 7:34, 7 AM, nice early start. And this is it, the duration. If I'm running a 1 hour webinar, I will always set it to about 15 minutes extra. Okay, so now I know. So when I reach, remember, Zoom gives you 15 minutes before you can start this, 15 minutes before. So this is starting at 7 AM. So I'm able to start this webinar at 6:45. Okay. And then it also gives you another grace period of 15 minutes after the duration time. So this would take this to 1 hour 30 minutes. Now if you run over, so if I ran this for 1.5 hours actually with people in there once I've started, then it will cut you off. It will just cut you off. So if you haven't allowed enough time, you need to be doing that. So I give myself 15 minutes, well actually half an hour grace period, because I'll be running this for an hour, but I've got 15 minutes, so it's 1 hour. Then I might have that 15 minutes to wrap things up, but I have got another half an hour if I absolutely need it. You don't want to use that, but if you absolutely have to, you know you've got it. But you've got to wrap it up quick, because otherwise when you hit that 1.5 hour, it will just close on you. So this duration is really important for making sure that your sessions do not stop suddenly. That's quite a big one to pay attention to. All right, so that's explained. So let's move on to the next one. Why can I not start my live at the right time? So generally this happens because the time zone is not set up correctly. So pretty easy one, this one. It's I'm in the right place anyway on my screen, so I'm gonna just go back to the screen share there, and you're going to make sure that you're in the right zone. So if I'm in London and I'm starting at Luxembourg time, then there's going to be different, I don't know how many hours difference. Let's say France, like an hour. I think it's an hour difference. Oh, Europe. Or what about India? US. Anyway, whichever one I choose there, it wouldn't be starting in the right time. To make sure I'm starting in the right time, I need to put where I am, and then I can start it. Yeah, I can start that in the right time. Now you can check it, because you can go to one of the pages and just check the countdown. Just make sure that's timing up with the proper time that you're actually going to be running this, and then you won't go wrong. But this is something that happens. Sometimes people forget. I know I did. I think I was putting GMT down here for this, and then sometimes there was a difference. So now I just use London if I'm doing it there. So just make sure you're hitting the right time. I think you've got EST time in there as well. There, EST, and I think we've got EDT as well in there. Yeah, EDT 5 EDT. So you've got all the things in there. You just need to double check and make sure you're getting the right one. Now, once you know it, then keep it in your memory banks and just use that every time you run a live, and you won't go wrong then. Okay, so let's jump back to the slides again. And that's it, we're finished. Okay, so we've got through more. I thought we had more, but no, that is all 10. That was quite good. So that is how we do it. So we're going to be looking at probably more, because there's more than 10 common issues, to be honest. There's a lot of others. So if you think there's common issue, guys, I'm asking for your help now. So inside this thread, inside this live, underneath, you guys that are helping other people all the time, can you drop in common issues? Because then I can do another one of these, like a part 2, another 10 common issues. So I'm sure you can think of some. These are just some that I got off the top of my head that I remember coming through time and time again. Probably the biggest one is testing as a student and clearing your cache. They are the biggest ones that we get, but I'm sure you guys can come up with ones that you see all the time happening in the group. So interact with us, let us know, and we'll include that in there. And if you guys are saying things, maybe we'll say, you know, he mentioned that or she mentioned that, so we'll actually feature your name in there if you put them in the chat underneath this video. So get a little bit interactive. If you like this is the first week we started running Zen pop-ups. So there's one today. I think we did 2 yesterday or 3. We did 4 the day before. So we just started running these things. They are in the YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Steve/Zenler. Make sure that you jump in there and see the latest ones that come up. And also remember, I just want to end this on a challenge that we've got running. This is just a little bit of an additional blurb at the end, but we've got a challenge that Mammy is running, and she's running this on Tuesday next week. It's really close, and it's the 3-day lead to client challenge, and she'll be showing you how a journey from a lead to a client. So making use of the power of storytelling. And she's going to be running this. She set it all up. I might co-host with a little bit, or one of the team will. So she's running that. If you guys want to get involved in that, I will drop that into the chat so you can happily sign up for it. I'm going to drop that in the chat now. So that ends another Zen pop-up for today. So make sure, running on Tuesday 14th of June, 4 p.m. BST time, it's 11 a.m. EDT time, is Mammy's 3-day lead to client challenge. So that is another Zen pop-up. So that was the top 10 common issues that people face with Zenler. Hopefully this has been of help for you. This will go into the YouTube channel, and I will put the timings there so you can jump straight to that bit if you've missed any bits. See you for now. Bye.